Hey guys, welcome back to the Football Nation podcast. It's me, Jono, here today. We've got a special guest, Phil. He's a Leeds fan. That's going to be our topic this week, talking about what's gone on at Leeds this season and if they're going to go down, appointing Sam Allardyce this week. With only 4 games to go, is it too late or can he do a big Sam and keep him up? Also, we're going to talk about the games around Europe in the last week. So, see you guys in a second. Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Today we are joined by Phil. Hi Phil, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good. I'm sure you're excited to talk about Leeds and the season you're having later on.
Absolutely. I don't know if excited, excited is exactly the right words, but yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. Did you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah. So I'm Phil. Been following Leeds for 57 years. I've got quite a good background into actually what's going on, not just what you see from a media point of view. So I'm quite happy to talk about the surrounding factors of why we are where we are and how we sort of move forward. But a good, interesting football right across the board. So yeah.
Yep. So let's get onto it. Start with the Barclays Premier League, and we're going to go straight to Man City and their 3-0 win against West Ham. Haaland breaking the record, 35 goals in a season. He is a machine. He is a robot, isn't he, Phil?
Absolutely.
And
a Leeds fan.
And a Leeds fan, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you've got some say on him with obviously his dad playing for you as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, what a player!
What a player! It's unbelievable. I thought it'd have an impact, a big impact, but I didn't think it would be this big. Basically,
35 goals in the Premier League and 55 goals in all competitions.
It is crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Yeah, and again, you've got to sort of take me off a little bit to the way that they've restructured Man United from a playing style, because although they're still a bit ticky-tacky, they are now starting to play to his strengths, and my goodness, what strength he has.
Yeah, definitely. I think, no defence to West Ham. West Ham actually played really well.
Yeah.
They could have got something, especially the first half. They could have got a few goals in the first half. They played well, but I think they're still going to be there or thereabouts for the relegation battle. But as we'll go into later, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else do you think about that game? Phil Foden getting on the score sheet and Aki with a goal at the post.
Aki's been really good, hasn't he, this season? Surprised me. I thought it was sort of looking to be sort of maybe moved out a little bit. I didn't think it sort of got the impact. So, but it seems to have really come good, you know.
Yeah.
Foden again is injured, but it's one of those players. And listen, I know there's a lot of rivalry between yourselves and the neighbours, but it's one of those players where you could see him fitting in any team. He's as well, I suppose, as most of the Man City players would.
Yeah.
But I quite like him. I think if I was managing England, I'd be looking to build my team around the Fodens and the Bellinghams of this world, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Boom in chat. Someone needs to just unplug his charger. Yeah, I agree. Yes. A great result. I think they've won the league now. I think that last result against Arsenal has. I can't see Arsenal, Man City slipping up now. Can you?
Not unless we spank them 5-0 on Saturday, but somehow I just can't see it.
Sam Allardyce ball to get the win and win it for Arsenal.
Yeah. No, I think the head and shoulder. I'll be honest with you. I hope they do win it on the result against Arsenal. They showed a lot of class against Arsenal, and it showed actually that Arsenal aren't quite there yet. So I think that makes them a little bit more deserving than anything else.
But I think with Arsenal, you need to be. If you look at Liverpool, for example, United in the past, Chelsea in the past, you need to feel that title charge before, like, being in a title fight is massive for Arsenal for their confidence going forward.
Yes.
So even if they don't win it, I think you need to be in a title fight before you win it. So if they keep on going as they are, I think hopefully soon, maybe soon they can get something. Boom in chat, their team need Uz and Costa, but just kid. Yeah, I agree. And yes, moving on, we will go to Liverpool, and Liverpool 1, Fulham 0. Again, Fulham playing as they've been playing all season. They've been playing really good football under Silva, and obviously after we've spoken about it quite a few times in a podcast, a manager that had 2 attempts in the Premier League before. Probably a lot of people thought he was going to just come up, send Fulham down straight away. But what he's done with that Fulham, he's learned from his mistakes in the Premier League before, and he's playing some good football with Fulham. I think they could have got something in that game, but a massive result for Liverpool. Shocking penalty decision. Shocking. VAR letting the Prem down again. What's your thoughts on that game?
Yeah. So I haven't seen the penalty myself, and I didn't see the game. Unfortunately, I've been out busy working today. But from all I can gather, it was a very, very dubious penalty decision. And also, I think Fulham are doing quite well in the fact that they've now not got they've not had Mitrovic in for quite a while, and that's a big miss to those guys. So I mean, listen, they're well punching above the weight as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a shocking decision by the ref. I don't understand what he was thinking, saying that it was not a pen. It's like so inconsistent refs in the Premier League. It's getting a joke. I've had people on Twitter Liverpool fans try and justify it. Like, if that was United, you'd be saying it was a good thing, but you're saying like we get decisions all the time. We've actually only had 2 penalty decisions this season. So all the United people turning on United on this, we've only actually had 2 penalty decisions this whole season, and we should have had at least 2 red cards against tackles against Casemiro, which we haven't had. And Liverpool, some of the decisions Liverpool have had this season is horrendous.
I'll be honest with you. I think quite a lot of people. I think everybody's absolutely sick of VAR at this moment in time.
Yeah. What do you think about the Liverpool Fulham result? Boom. Do you think Liverpool have a chance of getting top 4, or
they have an outside chance? It's not impossible. I just think it's too little, too late for that situation.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a few games earlier. I think they would have been all right, but I think it's too late now. Going on to our next game, which is Arsenal 3, 1 Chelsea. Arsenal on fire. They played really well. Back to their best after a few shaky draws. Obviously, I think they've lost the title now to City. I can't see City dropping points. I'm not sure what you think.
I think City are just in their mode. They get to the end of the season. You needed more points at this stage because you'd always know City are just going to go on a run near the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. And
with Arsenal in this game, you didn't really need to show too much against this current Chelsea side. Is absolutely. Even Frank de Boer says a lot of them seem to just already be on the beach. They're already on their summer holidays. They're just
they've not had a great season at all. They just don't look up to it. And I think there's a lot of changes that are going to happen at Chelsea in the summer. It looks like Pochettino is coming in. I'm not sure what I think about that appointment.
Todd Bowley's still saying he's there for long-term success.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the appointment. I don't think it fits the appointment of Pochettino and Chelsea. Do you?
He doesn't seem like the typical Chelsea manager. But then again, neither did Graham Potter at the time, which is why I question that one. As much as Graham Potter's a decent manager, I just didn't think he was ever going to work at Chelsea. I have the same feeling about Poch. I don't think it's... I can understand why Poch would take it, but I don't think of...
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Arsenal, though, as I was saying to Phil in a minute ago, I think they've had a great season. I think to win that title, you need to experience a title race. And I think that's really important. So I think now they've experienced that, hopefully, maybe going into next season, they can push again and maybe get a few additions.
Their squad wasn't large enough for a title, right? Yeah, they're a young team. They'll learn from it, and they just need to keep adding to the squad.
No, 100%, 100%. Yes. Moving on, Leicester 2, Everton 2.
Actually, Everton, a really good game of football for a relegation squad.
Really good game. I think it keeps Leicester free. Leicester are going to be right now. Leicester probably safe after that result, which is good for them. They should have got the one though. They threw it away. Obviously, Everton getting the first goal. Jamie Vardy pulling one back, then them taking the lead, and then right at the end, 10 with 10 men. Everton getting that goal. What's your thoughts? Do you think that affect? Do you think Everton are gone now, and do you think Leicester are?
I think it puts Leicester in a good position. I said whoever won that game would be fine. The fact that they drew their boat not mathematically fine.
Yeah.
But it's Leicester have the better chance to do it. Because Everton's. I'd never doubt John Dyche's ability to get out, but it's getting less and less likely. And honestly, there's a world, very unlikely that Chelsea go down. There's a world that there is a possibility where Frank Lampard could get 2 teams relegated.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
1 season.
Yeah, I think Leicester are. Leicester are safe now. I think they're going to have a project in the summer. I think a few players will leave there. They'll probably get some money in. It'll be interesting to see what they do manager-wise next year. Obviously, if they keep their current manager, or if they get someone better in. But yeah, Everton though, I think Everton are gone. I think Everton, which we'll get into a bit, Leeds and Southampton. I think who's going to get relegated. Do you agree, Boom?
Yeah. Southampton are definitely gone.
Yeah.
Leeds are in trouble. It's
and
Leeds' fixtures don't help them. They have their most winnable game on paper is the West Ham one. Forest have Southampton next, so that's their easy one. Before they have difficult ones. Forest to stay up will need to beat Southampton and just try and not get smashed by their next opponents, because they have Southampton. Then they have Chelsea, which with Chelsea's current form, you go into that saying you have a chance, but then again, it's a game that Chelsea could end up getting something from. Yeah. And then they have Arsenal and Palace, which I don't think they're winning, so they're pretty much Forest are relying on the Southampton-Chelsea game to solidify the place.
Yeah, it would be good if Chelsea went down, but I think that'll be fine.
Yeah,
it would next we have another.
It would take Forest relegation. It would take Forest, Leeds, and West Ham to keep winning games.
Yeah.
For Chelsea to push downwards to that, but it's possible, but very unlikely.
Yeah, 100%. And next we have Bournemouth 4, Leeds 1. Bournemouth thrashing a very poor Leeds team, obviously getting their manager sacked, second manager gone of the season, third manager gone they've had in the last 2 years. What's your thoughts on the Bournemouth 4 Leeds 1 game?
Very good result for Bournemouth.
Yep. They've surprised a lot of people, especially since they made that the appointment when they got rid of
Gary O'Neill he did good in the beginning and then sort of just disappeared, like his form dipped. He had that original like new manager bounce. Then he started going back down the table because results were going very poorly, and now he's turned it around again and he's starting to pick up results when it's mattered. And he's 1 point off the magical safety of 40 points, which I guarantee that they'll probably get it before Chelsea get there. They're only behind Chelsea on goal difference.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, I think, but Leeds though, I think we'll go more into Leeds in a minute, but shocking again. I goals come from.
Yeah, the thing is, like I said in like our private chat there, it's like Leeds posted a stat about Sam Allardyce's games that he's managed and wins, which roughly, if you check out the map, works in 1 win in every 5 games. But yet they only have 4 games left.
Yeah. I can't see a way of them out. It's like,
especially when their games that they have left is Man City at the Etihad, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Another road. Then West Ham in West Ham, and West Ham also fighting for their safety. And then Tottenham, which Tottenham as itself is a 50-50 game. It depends on which Tottenham decide to show up.
Yeah, I can't see him getting any points there of those remaining games.
So the only one that I can make an argument is Tottenham, but that's if like the bottle Tottenham show. It's very like depends on which Tottenham show up to face you.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't got much more to add on that. We'll speak about Leeds in a bit, but we've now gone to the Bundesliga and some interesting results this week in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich 2, Hertha Berlin 0.
Back to the top of the table for mine.
Yeah, back to the table after a horrendous start for Thomas Tuchel. He needed that, and I think the result, the 1-1 draw.
It's a good bounce back from the 3-1 loss to Mainz.
Yeah, definitely, and I think we'll go on to Mainz in a minute. And Dortmund dropping points as well is massive for them. 4 games to go. I think this title race is going to go right to the wire in the Bundesliga this year.
There's only 1 point in it, so either one slips.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Why do you think Thomas Tuchel has struggled since he's gone there after they sacked Nagelsmann?
I don't think they're set up properly Bayern this season. They very much thought they could get by this season without replacing Lewandowski, and that hasn't been the case. They thought like they could just get away with one, kind of like what we did for half the season with Weghorst. They kind of did it for a full season with Choupo-Moting. See if we can just get by.
Yeah, definitely. I think.
And when it comes to the business end, though it worked for a bit. Like eventually you realize Choupo-Moting's not the greatest, so then you have to play Mane as a striker, and Mane's not really a striker.
It looks like Mane's on his way out already.
And then you lead into a bust up between Sane and Mane. Doesn't help your case with the squad.
Yeah, it looks like Mane's on his way out already. Apparently they've told him he can leave. So
and the fact that in January Bayern lost their main keeper themselves, and Neuer, had a skiing accident, and also this curious case of João Cancelo, who's a bit of a throw my toys off the pram. I'm going to Bayern.
Yeah, definitely.
And Upamecano being absolutely terrible against Man City.
Bill, we will jump back to our previous game. So, what was your thoughts on the 4-1 loss for Leeds against Bournemouth?
Typically where we are at this moment in time, another so-called 6-pointer or a must-win game, but defensively shocking. another different formation from Xavi Garcia. So we played, we sort of set up 5 at the back. But again, just didn't work. And as soon as we concede, you can see the confidence just drains out of us.
At least Bamford finally scored.
Sorry?
I said at least Bamford hit the target. He's been hit and miss.
Yeah, it did, but unfortunately, it's too few and far between.
Yeah. And do you think Boom was going through your fixture list for the last games of the season? Can you see you picking up any points from them?
I'll be honest with you. I would really doubt it. I would like to think that Spurs might be on holiday on the beach. So again, we play them at home, which could give us a bit of hope. But I've been saying it for a long time. We've been playing must-win games since Forest away, just after Christmas, and then not picking anything up. So when you look at the fixtures that we've got left and the teams that we've played that we thought we would be able to pick points up against, we haven't. And even got smashed. Even Palace smashed us. Bournemouth have smashed us. We played well against Leicester, but again, with the best one in the world, Vardy could have had a hat trick at the end of that game. So my confidence is, my heart says, listen, yeah, I'd love to get points, but my brain says no, I doubt it very much.
Yeah, the one that I said, like Spurs, you'd have a chance. It depends on which Spurs show up.
Yeah. And then, to be honest with you, the West Ham game is right around their potential European final. So that might make a difference, but a half-strength West Ham can turn us over. So I'm struggling to find any points unless Sam can perform his miracle act. I just can't see it. But again, the problem we have is Sam's not a 3-point go out and get 3 points. Is a don't concede. Let's try. It's a bit like Dyche. You suggested it'd be happy with a draw, and we need more than draws at this moment in time.
Definitely.
Sam's more. Let's try and keep the ball out of the net and maybe get a goal.
Yeah, exactly. As I was saying earlier, I think if you got Big Sam when you sacked the previous manager and didn't get Garcia, he might have kept you up because he has got that background. But I think it's just too.
The thing is, what's interesting with Sam also is that you're not getting his usual number 2. You're getting a different person for him for the last 4 games.
And he's not got any time to work with the players anyway on formation and instilling any confidence in them. He's gotten virtually no time. I was having a laugh yesterday. I saw one podcast that said his formation will be 8-1-1, and I saw another one that said his formation will be 11.
Nice.
I did like his words though, saying he, compared to every manager in the Prem, there's no one close to his level. I was like, yes.
He's got the confidence, hasn't he, by all means?
Yeah. Moving on, anyway, we spoke about the Bayern Munich games, and going back to the Bundesliga now, we've got Wolfsburg 3, Mainz 0. Obviously, Mainz just coming off a great result against Bayern Munich in the last round, but they got destroyed by Wolfsburg in a very tight at the top of the Bundesliga. That put Wolfsburg up to 7th in a chance of a European spot, and Mainz
Wolfsburg
down
are
to
curious because when they came. Before like the World Cup break, Wolfsburg were starting to go on a mad run of form that has been hampered by that World Cup break. That's ever since they've been very up and down with their results. So it's good to see them beating a team like Mainz and stuff and getting that finally 2 wins in a row because they've not got that in a while. And I have a friend who supports Wolfsburg, so he's very happy.
Do you think who do you think is going to get Europe there? It's very tight. Yeah, who do you think is going to get that European spots there? It's really tight.
I think the current top 5s get Europe, and then It's really for the Conference League. It's between Leverkusen, Wolfsburg, and Mainz.
Yeah. Moving on, we had a Dortmund dropping points to a relegation battling Bochum, 1-1. Bochum getting the first goal, decent goal, and Dortmund getting one back, and they just couldn't find. They had a lot of chances, but they just couldn't find the net to get the winner, making it very interesting at the top of the Bundesliga.
Very interesting, Bochum. The fact that they're in a relegation, but they have taken points off Leipzig and Dortmund now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's going to be interesting last few games in the Bundesliga. I can't call it between Dortmund and Bayern. So it will be interesting.
Good result for Bochum. They are tied on points with Stuttgart, who's just above them, and they're basically fighting with Stuttgart and Hoffenheim to try and avoid relegation.
Yeah, definitely.
And will Schalke have an outside chance?
Have you got anything to add on these games?
I think Hertha are gone.
Not from my end. I'm not really a European follower, I must admit. It's the Premier League and Championship for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Now we're going on to La Liga. And over to you, Boom, for your beloved Real Madrid losing 2-0 to Real Sociedad, putting them down to third in La Liga. Shocking result.
It's just Real Madrid.
Sociedad played really well.
It's just Real Madrid's season, to be fair to you.
Yeah.
Real Madrid seem to have this thing this season where they have a bad result. Then their next game, I feel bad for Osasuna in the Copa del Rey final because the next game afterwards is usually the one where they just go, bam, Benzema hat-trick, and then the next game they lose in the league afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you had Danny Carvajal getting a red card in this one, so 2 yellows. Didn't help the cause of going when you're against a team. Because Real Sociedad are a decent side. They're currently fourth.
That second tackle was a bad tackle as well. That could have been a straight red on its own. That was not a good tackle. I don't know what Carvajal was thinking.
And you just have to have a hold that this is just a bad league season for Real Madrid. Might not be a bad trophy season because they won and they're about to. They won the Club World Cup. They have a chance to win the Copa del Rey in a few days, which would be good. And they're still in their favorite competition, the Champions League, albeit against Man City. Very difficult game, but they've done it before. They might do it again. So it might be still a decent season for Real Madrid, but their league form has been absolutely terrible.
Do you think the future around Ancelotti is affecting what's going on there at the moment? Because it's very up in the air what's going to
I think slightly, but I also think slightly injuries of them because we just recently Modric has been injured. And Modric is an integral part to Real Madrid's creative system.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're trying to bring more youngsters into it too. Tchouaméni, not really as ready yet and stuff. And they're adding more to it next time with Jude Bellingham.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to hope that. I think they're trying to hope that Jude Bellingham eventually becomes the Modric kind of replacement.
How do you think they're going to keep Bellingham, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Valverde, Kroos, and Modric happy?
I don't know how they're doing that, but I think deep down they're hoping Tchouaméni, Camavinga, and Bellingham will become the new Casemiro, Toni Kroos, and Modric.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see what happens in the summer.
Because they also got that kid from Brazil coming in at one point in like a year or so's time.
Yeah, I think they do need to get a striker in. Obviously, Benzema has been amazing, But I still think they need to sign an attacker in the summer. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see
And
if
then
they
sign a temporary striker because I know they have a lot of faith in that kid, but he's not coming for like 2 years or something.
Yeah, all the rumours are there of in 2024 the release clause for Haaland, but it looks like City are trying to get that out of his contract. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. Moving on, we had Villarreal versus Valencia, and that was a 1-1.
Good for Valencia. They need those.
Yeah, they need that.
And any point is a good point for Valencia these days.
Yeah, definitely. Another point for Real in the chase to get European football. But I think Valencia are gone now, aren't they?
Yeah, Valencia very much needed this for their own, because they're leaking too many things against teams they should be beating.
Yeah.
And they're very much in. They're only not in the relegation zone on goal difference at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
It's between them and Getafe for that relegation last spot.
Yeah, I hope they get out of it. It's a big club. It'd be sad if they go down. So hopefully they can pick up some points.
Hopefully they can solve out their own problems someday.
Yeah, hopefully.
But Valencia still have Real Madrid to play at some point.
Ouch.
And so do Getafe, both at the same point. So those 2 games against Real Madrid for Getafe and Valencia could end up deciding their fates.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on, Atletico Madrid 5-1 winners, putting them up
to second.
Moving up second in the league. What's your thoughts on that game?
It was just completely domination from Atletico Madrid. Valladolid couldn't really do anything. And they scored, one of their goals was actually a very spectacular goal from Valladolid, but it came too little too late in that die to make it 4-1 at that time.
Yeah, definitely. And
can you hear me, guys? I can see you now, but I can't hear
you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Good. Sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on. It just keeps dropping out.
It's back-to-back 5-0, 5 goals for Atletico Madrid as well.
Yep. Next, we move on to Serie A, and Verona getting smashed 6-0 by Inter Milan. And Inter Milan, who haven't been great this season, but are fighting for that European spots at the moment. It's very tight up there, especially with Juventus getting their points back, which is very controversial on its own, but we won't go into that. So what's your thoughts on Inter versus Verona?
Well, Inter are picking up form just in time for their Champions League match against AC Milan.
That's going to be a massive game.
The opposite cannot be said for AC Milan, but Inter are starting to pick up goal-scoring things. And in this game, there's front 2 Martinez and Jacko just were very good.
Yeah.
They didn't even need to call on the Chelsea favorite Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I don't have any more to add on that, but great result by Valencia. Atalanta 3-2 winners against Spezia. Great game, end to end. Atalanta also fighting around about their European like they normally are, and Lazio 2-0 winners as well. So some interesting games this week. So we will now move on to our main topic of the week, and we have Phil here, who is a Leeds fan, and we're gonna kick off on the main subject. So, where do you think it's gone wrong this season, Phil?
I don't think it's just been this season. I think it's a catalogue of errors right from the ownership of basically Radazani taking over Leeds United. It's a very similar situation to a lot of clubs now, having owners looking at football clubs as businesses to make profit on, and that all then depends on the business model. If you look at the Glazers of what they've done to you guys, they're basically taking everything they can out of the club and they're looking to walk away. Radrazani, our owner, or our core at this moment in time, has had the same kind of model. So bought into the club, spent 40 million on the buyout. It bought the club the ground back for 10 million, but then everything from that point has been financed by player sales or spending the money coming up into the coming up from the Championship into the Premiership. So all that money was spent on basically players, but not invested in anything himself. We then performed miracles to get to ninth in the first season back, when that was the right time to invest. But he didn't want to. He wanted to take money out, so he didn't invest because his business model is not like that.
You were relying on the miracle of Bielsa.
I would have loved to see what Bielsa could have done with backing in the Prem.
Yeah, but like the squad as a whole, just with Bielsa style of football, you get knackered, so you need to invest in legs.
Yeah, and Bielsa had said that already. He'd already said, "Listen, these guys will not be able to put this kind of performance for another couple of seasons." Yeah. Which again, like I said, is where we should have invested. We're still playing now with some of that Championship squad. The Luke Halens, the Liam Coopers, and the Bamfords are Championship players if you think about it. But then obviously from there, so the 49ers came in and bought a part share. Then they've topped the share up again, so it's a 56-44 split. He then spent that money again, sort of in the transfer market, and then last season we lost Phillips and Rafinha, so we recouped 100 million quid. We then spent that money on trying to strengthen overall, but we also had the disaster, and I don't know if you know this, but we tried to sign a guy basically in the COVID situation called Augustine. He played well. He was on the bench for about 6 games, I think, but we missed the opportunity to offload him. So we've now been to court. We paid £18 million for a player that we never really owned, and he's also taken us for another £22 million. So basically, just wasted money all the way through, and it's like anything else. Everybody knows the teams with the better players finish higher up the league, and managers can influence that. Like I said, we're still playing with a Championship style team or players of that ilk in the team, and we just aren't good enough player wise.
What was your opinion on the double apology that they made? They made like in one post apologizing for the performance and then also apologizing for ignoring a young fan on the way to the game.
Yeah, it's PR. It's just simply PR. That's all it is. We've got an owner that likes to communicate with fans on Twitter, and basically tweeted that we would have a new manager in. And then when that fell through, it was backtrack, and everybody was going, "What's going on?" So yeah, for me, it's just PR. In the world that Radrazani lives in, he's done very, very well. He'll be walking away with 100 million quid or that kind of.
Yeah, because I know Gary Neville did call it out, saying no one likes to hear these messages. They don't do anything but help the players and the club.
Nothing at all. Nothing. It's it's crazy. And then we've left from one bad decision to another bad decision. So Xavi Garcia coming in, everybody knows was sort of the 5th, 6th, 7th choice manager because they couldn't get who they wanted, even though they thought they'd secured it. He's come in. It not had a great deal of time to sort the team out, but again, he's been the fans have been calling out for some substitutions. Again, Willie Granto is basically one of our most dangerous players, and he's been sat on the bench week in, week out under Xavi, and that's put a lot of discontent with the fans.
Yeah, I said at the time where you pointed Xavi Garcia, I was like to Jono, why are like Leeds going for someone whose last manager job was Al Sadd a year ago?
Yeah, absolutely. And then
And it's been sacked by Watford twice in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly. And you could sort of tell at the end of his tenure that there was virtually no. Well, at the end of the last press conference, it was asked a question: "Do you think you'll still be supported by the board?" And he just shrugged his shoulders, and that basically says it all, doesn't it? I think he'd lost the players.
Yeah.
I think he'd lost the players and the board as well, and just no coming back from him. But then I'm also.
I don't think he ever got. I don't think he ever got the players though. I don't.
No,
Like, you didn't even get that managerial bounce.
Me neither. With the best one in the world, probably our best two performances were against you home and away, where we had the caretaker manager, which is Scoobs, which I wanted back in charge now to take us to the end of the season. I think Allardyce is again a bit of a knee-jerk option, and too late. It's too late from my perspective.
Yeah,
Either that or plan long term. I'd have definitely gone in for Brendan Rodgers and said, listen, you've got 4 games. If you turn us around, fantastic. If not, if we drop down, the ownership's going to change because the 49ers are going to buy us. So basically, you will have a big transfer kitty, bring us back up, and then the aim of the 49ers is to turn us into a European challenging club. That's their business model. So again, they're looking to spend money and support the manager.
Good.
Yeah, the best game you played was the first half against United at Old Trafford.
Yeah,
You took everyone by surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because, it's a shame because it's another big club going down this year, like a huge club like Leeds. Like we're talking about Valencia in La Liga, another huge clubs, and across all the big leagues, there's so many massive clubs struggling at the moment. They're going to lose a lot of big clubs from the top divisions in different leagues.
And the thing with Leeds, they waited so long to get back into the Premier League structure.
Yeah. And then we brought the Messiah in, Bielsa, who performed miracles, absolute miracles. And like you say, imagine him with a half-decent squad. That could be frightening. But like I said, I think it's endemic of what football's going through at this moment in time, and that is the traditional way of clubs being run is now been superseded by corporate businessmen and those kind of things looking at clubs to make profit out of, and that's unfortunately where we are.
One thing I loved with Bielsa is I loved his translator.
Yeah.
I love the way Bielsa would go on this big rant, and then the Bielsa was like, he said we played bad. Like that was not the full rant. You're hiding things here.
Yeah. It was very shrewd as well because in front of the cameras he could talk quite good English, but he used a translator to give him a bit of time to think about answering the questions that were posed to him. So it was very good, and he could also say things were lost in translation and that kind of thing as well. So it was clever, very clever guy.
Yeah. So do you think? I think we're all on the same page and think the Leeds are going to go down this season. Do we think you're going to bounce back up straight away?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. My only concern is that there's an agreement to sell to the 49ers, and that basically will set us back on the way. They will invest money in getting us to where they want to be. They're looking to get a club that's worth £1 billion. And to do that, you can't be in the Championship. So they're looking to spend money, invest in the ground and that kind of thing to take us where we want to be. So yeah, I think very much if we go down, we will be looking to come straight back up again. My only concern is the timescale of the ownership change happening. because the 49ers need to come in really quick, clear the decks, sort the manager out, and basically start afresh. So from a perspective of bringing players in, we've got to have that philosophy.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Boom? Do you think they're going to stay up? And if not, do you think they'll bounce straight back up?
I think it's very difficult for them to stay up in this current fixture list. I think they have every chance to bounce back up, but a lot of teams that can bounce back up on paper sometimes don't. That's the cruel game of the championship.
Look at Norwich this year. They've been horrendous. They went down with probably the best squad in the championship, and they've like.
But
They're
they
not
could
even
either do a
get
Norwich
playoffs.
or they could do a Burnley and just come straight back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always say it's the hardest league to get out of. It's the hard. It's the. I'd say after the Premier League, it's probably the second hardest league in the world.
Yeah, it's the most competitive, isn't it? It's the most competitive. Just from the fact that the top can beat bottom and bottom can beat top at any given time or space. Yeah, we have got a few good things again in our favour, though. We have got some very talented youth team players. The under 21s, under 23s have just got promotion. We've got quite a bit of talent in the youth ranks that could also supplement as push back up into the Premiership.
Yep, definitely.
Half-time score, it is Brighton 0, Manchester United 0.
Yep. Did you want to update us on the rest of the scores as well?
Napoli are still losing, so at the moment they will not be champions.
Yep. Oh, does that push them? I thought
that pushes them. They still need the result to actually confirm it.
Oh yeah. It's basically done, but
it's basically done, but they won't be able to mathematically confirm it with a loss.
Yep.
And Empoli is winning 2-0 against Bologna, the other live game. And Huddersfield, Sheffield United, for anyone who loves the championship, is 0-0.
Big game.
Yeah.
Huddersfield are desperately trying to win.
Huddersfield survival.
Stay up, survival. And Neil Warnock against his beloved Sheffield United is another big.
It's definitely between Huddersfield and Reading from that last relegation.
Yeah.
I see Leeds, not Leeds. Watford are close to sacking another manager in the summer. They've said you've got the last game and then they're sacking him.
Are they getting the corner flag ready for the photo that they usually take? The exact same corner flag for every manager sacking.
That's the Watford business model, I believe. It's one manager stays, ship them in and ship them back out again.
Yeah.
They just recycled the same image to announce it. This is the one corner flag. Every time Watford actually lose a game, if you go through Watford's comments on that defeat post, there's always someone that posts that exact corner flag. It would say, "Come on, lads, we know what you're gonna do. Announce it. Come on."
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, Phil, where can we find you?
Shout on Twitter, come see us there.
You're gonna have to say that again, Phil. You kind of cut out when you were saying the actual app.
Right. So it's POW with 7 sevens after that on Twitter. So it's POW and then 7 sevens.
Cool. And Boom, where can we find you?
You can find me at Crazy Boom __ on Twitter and Twitch. Boom Pool on YouTube and here for most contents and podcasts.
Yep. And you can find me at jono.tv on Twitter and at the Football Nation podcast. We've been your home of football. Good night.